YouTube just destroyed countless channels. This actually has affected us actually a little bit as well. It is like super annoying, like, and you're about to see what happened. They pulled some bullshit that's like specifically targeted at like people like us, and you'll see what I mean.
So today's gonna be a pretty important video about YouTube as a platform and some major issues going on with the platform itself that's impacting not only content creators, but also the experience of viewers like yourself.
Yeah.
So over the past month or so, I have noticed some very
this happened like basically without anybody knowing. It's actually
weird
crazy
things going on with YouTube, not just with my channel, but also channels I follow. And recently, over the past couple of days, a lot of content creators have confirmed some of my suspicions. They have come out and talked about major problems going on with their channels. And these are content creators from all different types of backgrounds and sizes, where they're reporting very low viewership on their videos, like very unusual patterns involving views on videos. And this is something that
it is kind of weird. Like we noticed that too. Yeah,
likely had a little bit of a relation to what's going on with Twitch and how views are not counting over there in their attempt to crack down on bots. I think something similar is going on with YouTube. And to make matters worse, some of their tweaks to their systems have now made it so some people's content is just not showing.
I actually agree with them, by the way, like blocking bots. Like, I mean, I guess there's the problem that they're oh god, this fucking bot. This is a fucking elephant cake. God damn, bro. I think it's a good thing that they're cracking down on bots because they're really unfair. So like, it's a good thing that they're doing something against it.
Up whatsoever, and it's pretty bad. So the first thing I want to talk about in this video, and I want everyone watching this to check this out for themselves. YouTube has made some changes to the restricted mode that is available on everyone's account. And what this does is it determines whether or not content is mature. Now, the issue here is that a lot of people are reporting that this toggle is being turned on without the user's permission, meaning what they're going to see on YouTube is severely restricted. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. So here's my channel, right? Everything's normal. If you go to your account, you can see this restricted mode. A lot of people are reporting that this is automatically on. What happens when I turn on restricted mode? Now you might see here, this is using AI to filter out potentially mature videos. What does a mature video look like? No clue. Your guess is as good as mine because it seems like AI is just randomly targeting videos, labeling them as mature, and then if you have this toggle on, those videos do not show up. Let me show you what happens when you activate restricted mode for my channel. Now, if you guys know me, I upload daily. So if there's any time where there is a gap between days in uploads, something's not right. And you can see, just scrolling through, about half of my videos are gone. It's not that they're not being promoted in the algorithm or recommended to people. They just don't exist if you have this toggle on. So if YouTube is, whether accidentally or intentionally turning this toggle on for people, it is severely limiting what content you can see. And again,
it seems possible that they just fucked up something and like it flagged it for some people. I don't know.
And this is like half of my videos, and it's pretty much the same case with a lot of people as well. You go back up here, you can see, turn off.
Wait, holy shit. Wait, really? The last video when it's restricted mode is 6 months ago? Wait, serious? Hold up, I'm gonna do this. Oh my god, you're right. My last video is 6 months ago. Holy shit. Guys, I'm problematic. Holy shit, that's crazy. It wiped out that many. Yeah, damn channel's dead. Dude, I fell off. Holy crap. That's so crazy.
The restricted mode, and all of a sudden, the videos are back. And I'll give you another example. I chose It's a Gundam because he has a similar number of subscribers. He uploads pretty frequently, and he's had issues with YouTube in the past because I guess they consider him a little bit edgy or whatever. But looking at his channel, right, you can see the upload dates. 1 hour ago, 4 days ago, 12 days ago, 13 days ago, 13 days ago. It's all pretty consistent. But if you turn on restricted mode again, his most recent upload would be 12 days ago. About half of his content is gone if this is toggled on. And
dude,
again, the issue is that...
Dude, even worse for us, dude. It's freaking all the way back to 6 months. That removed like, that removed what? Like almost 300 plus videos. That's crazy.
YouTube is seemingly turning this toggle on without people's permission, and you won't even know it's on because it's not like there's a warning over the quote-unquote mature videos. they just don't show up at all. You won't be any
Yeah,
the
that's
wiser.
bullshit.
You just think, oh, they haven't uploaded in 12 days, when that's not the case. And also, again, these videos, from my own experience, they're not in any way compromised. They're not age restricted. They're not demonetized. They're just regular videos that have been approved for all audiences. And they're being labeled as mature and then hidden for anyone who has this toggle on. It's very, very dangerous, the route this is going, because you're having this wonky AI determining basically a second level of defense and then completely wiping that content right off of a channel. You can't even find the videos that are marked with this if you have this stuff enabled. But that was just part one here. There's been a lot of threads over the past couple of days of content creators sharing that they've had a massive drop off in viewership. And it's always something sharing that they've had a massive drop off in viewership. And it's always something you talk about reluctantly, where it's like, anytime you say like, oh, viewership is down, something's going on with the algorithm, or people will just say you fell off, or, people aren't watching your videos anymore. And, a lot of the time it is just how things are, right? There's slow days, slow weeks, even slow months where viewership might just be down. But here we have a time right on August 13th where countless channels had their viewership plummet out of nowhere. Either YouTube did something to the system, or countless content creators all just fell off on August 13th. It's been very wonky, and that was around the time where Twitch was doing their own bot purge that, by their own admission, went too far and is now not counting views from lurkers and people who are not quote-unquote engaged viewers. But things get more complicated, and there's some more evidence of this when you see people like Kirsha talking about this, Endymion talking about this, Smash JT, even Linus Tech Tips has been talking about this big drop-off in viewership over the past month. And there was a video by Second Wind going through this, and also really highlighting the randomness behind all of this, where views are just very turbulent at the moment. I think that's the best way I can describe my own experience over the past.
Yeah, like as in like they're not really stable. Like you'll have a video that has like, and there's always like some kind of variance in it. But in the case of like recently, like the spikes are crazy compared to before. Yeah. But you know what it could be too? Like I don't know. Like I'm just like, kind of looking at it. It could be that they're just delayed. I don't know. Some like weeks have been like really fucking bad though. It's kind of hard to say. Then the last video popped off though. The freaking, oh my god, dude. You're telling me all I had to do was talk about statistics and then I got lots of views? Damn, that's crazy.
Last month,
I didn't know people like statistics so much, guys. A lot of math lovers on the channel, apparently.
Most videos are fine, like they're performing as they always would. And then like the ones that get hit with something, they just tank. They fall on their face right out of the gate. And I'm not saying that to complain. I am greatly appreciative of any level of viewership I get. It's just an observation, right? Things just aren't the same, and it's very bizarre. And I think a lot of it has to do with this sort of engaged viewer metric, where they're only counting what they consider engaged viewers. Again, people who like, comment, or subscribe. The lurkers, so to speak, are the ones not counting, at least for viewership. But for ad revenue, I think they're definitely counting. They're still watching ads and still triggering ads on YouTube. So yeah, there's still money going there, but their view is still not being counted. I can say this, with my own channel, over the past, let's say 3-4 weeks, there's been a pretty big hit on viewership. Again, not complaining, just an observation here. And what's really weird, what makes no sense whatsoever, is during this period of lower viewership, my revenue, my ad revenue, has increased.
Wait, is that what's going on? Because I noticed that too. I noticed that so the view counts are down, but the revenue is like the same, about the same. I mean, it's a little bit down, but it's not a lot. It's weird. Like I don't know what's going on. I don't get it.
That makes no sense, especially if you're a YouTuber. You can share your own experience over the past month. If you have a drop off,
it's not like more. It's like about the same, basically.
Like that, your revenue is going to go down, but it's had the opposite effect. It literally makes no sense. In fact, there are some examples from the past month where a video has made like $10 per 1,000 views, which, in case you're not familiar with how that works, that is insanely high. And what I think is happening is they're counting the ad revenue. They're counting what people are watching in terms of ads, but they're not counting as views. So you have these really disproportionate ad revenue rates for videos when you compare it to the views. Like, nothing makes sense whatsoever. It's very, very bizarre what's going on here. And I think it's exactly what's going on with Twitch. It's no coincidence that also in August, there was a major crackdown on Twitch where they were trying to go after view bots. And they were catching, some of those people have like 3,000 viewers, but literally not a single person talking in their chat. It did crack down on those, but it also cracked down on lurkers and quote unquote unengaged viewers, where yes, they're being counted for ad revenue. The ads they're watching are registered.
Yeah, it's annoying because I lurk all the time. Like I'm a lurker when it comes to like watching streams. I'm not really big on talking in the chat, so it is kind of weird. Like I'm just looking at it right now, like the rates and stuff. You wouldn't believe how bad the ads are over on Twitch. It's incredible. Holy, let me go look over at Kick. How are Kick ads so much better? I don't understand, bro. I don't get it. I don't understand.
And producing revenue for the creator and the platform, but their view is not being counted. They're not a live viewer. They're basically just kind of there, but not actually being received as a viewer. And I think the same thing is going on with YouTube. It's pretty much the only thing that can make any sense. At no point is YouTube going to pull back the curtain and tell us what's going on. They never do stuff like that. Point is YouTube going to pull back the curtain and tell us what's going on. They never do stuff like that. I think based on my own experience and what I'm hearing from other people, these people are watching videos. There are viewers, but only a certain number are being registered for the purposes of a view.
You know what though? That's actually really bad for Twitch streamers in particular. So like, it's not as bad on YouTube. Well, actually, no, I take that back. It is bad. It is just as bad on YouTube and Twitch. The problem is when it comes to, if you don't count people who are actually watching the stream, and you're like, well, that person isn't like clicking on anything, so like they don't count as a view. That actually hurts content creator leverage when it comes to sponsorships, right? Because say like there's actually I'll just come up with an example. Say there's like actually 2,000 people watching a stream, but then only 1,000 are counted because the other 1,000 are lurkers. Then when you go to a company and you try to do like a sponsorship, they're gonna count it based off the 1,000 over what's actually visible. So that's like the issue. Yeah, it fucks with content creators even if the ad revenue is like the same. It's still bad because it makes, for the metrics of like your negotiating power with companies, it makes it worse.
Weird because they're being counted for ad revenue, but not as a viewer. It's very strange. Again, people look at this and be like, nope, all you people who are saying the stuff, you fell off. You're complaining about the algorithm. I just know based on my own experience. I mean, I've been uploading daily for...
Fatal Heart says real engaged viewers are a better metric for actual commercialization, which leads to better contract. Well, I don't think that's really... So I think the two things are completely different because even if you don't engage with it, right? So like if I play a game, right? That game is still being exposed into the minds of people, even that are lurkers, right? There are ways that they can track like clicks as well, which they do through like kind of, you remember how whenever I do a sponsorship, I say like, hey guys, like if you guys can click the link and you do that for me, like help me out a lot, right? Because it lets them it lets them know that like you view the thing because of me, and that gets me more gets me like like a better rating, I guess, with the sponsor, because like they have like their internal numbers, like they see it and they're like, oh, okay, like Leaflit does really, really well, she's like really good at like getting people to like actually check out her stuff, so it does a lot better. But that doesn't mean that the people who aren't clicking on it or aren't like chatting in the chat aren't exposed to the game anyway, right? If you click on the link, you have to buy it now.
5+ years, I have a pretty good sense of how things work. And the last month has been the most turbulent and weird month I've ever had.
That's true. That's actually a good fucking point. I just saw this thing here. Man, who said that? Zayla says, well, that's good for Twitch and YouTube. They hate content creators getting sponsors. They get no money from the sponsors. That's true. That actually is true because they're not involved in that. Like YouTube, Twitch are not involved at all in that thing. So it's actually kind of not good for them because then they can't be the ones to run the sponsor later. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes 100%. They don't really give a fuck, right? Because it only helps the creators in like a way that like gives the creators more leverage over Twitch and YouTube. Yeah. That makes total
on this
sense.
platform. And I know that's the experience for a lot of other people. And like I said, you're always reluctant to talk about views. It sounds like you're complaining, but these are just observations. And based on the restricted mode and how things are being messed with on YouTube, I think it's fair to talk about these things because it's not just impacting content creators, it's also impacting the experience you as a viewer are having. Some content's being hidden, numbers are very misleading right now in terms of viewership. Everything is very bizarre. And I think people have a right to know about this. And again, I don't think anyone at YouTube is going to come forward and talk about this, but hopefully they figure something out because it's been very turbulent and unreliable in terms of what they're presenting you with views and things like that. It just doesn't seem like anything's really adding up. And I think a lot of this has to do with changes to their algorithm, how they're using AI, as well as their fight to try to determine people's ages based on their search history and the videos they're watching. That is something that a lot of people forgot about. That was a month ago as well, where they're now trying to determine your age based on the content you consume. And if
Depends like how much Mr. Beast you watch. Like the more Mr. Beast you watch, like the lower it thinks your age is.
you fail the test, I guess, you have to show identification. There's a lot of things going on with YouTube. I think it's made things very chaotic and unstable. And yeah, there's just something not right about YouTube recently. And I'm not complaining. I'm
It is
doing
weird,
very
yeah.
well. Everything's great, but it is different.
You know what's funny? If you think about it, guys, YouTube, this whole thing is kind of a little microcosm of like the economy. Where like YouTube fucks around with something and it makes everyone uneasy. Everyone's like, oh man, fuck, I don't know, man. And then and now like YouTubers are like, I don't know if I want to invest in like that thing because like, maybe I wait a little bit. It's a little unstable right now.
You know, you have to
That's
be able
actually
to
kind of funny.
look at things for what they are. I think something's a little bit up here, but I'm glad I'm not the only one because I thought I was going a little crazy. But no, like looking around, a lot of content creators are expressing the same things I'm talking about. But as always, you know, I'm very appreciative for all the support I get. And also, there's other ways to support content creators. For me, you can go and check out my new desk
Yo,
mat
Saki
or pair
Kempo,
of desk
thank you.
mats from
Thank you, Zaki Kempo, thank you.
Epic Desk.
Dude, that's so cute. That's so cute.
This is a new collaboration I have. Features some artwork of me and my wife.
Give Rev a like and a subscribe and a comment if you're feeling generous. It really helps a lot, by the way, on YouTube. If you leave a comment, you like it, you share it with somebody, it helps so much with like the algorithm. Like just today, you guys commented a crap ton on this is the last straw video. Yeah, 1,579 comments on that video, and we got a ton of ton of views on that because of you guys. Thank you so much.